Oh, welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you guys are joining me today. And who would have ever had thought that Jill Biden, would be able to have a bestseller book, right? 81 million people voted for her husband and herself, right? They voted for these couple. Yeah, nobody's buying her book. Nobody's buying Jill's book, unless it actually contained the contents of the Hunter Biden laptop. Maybe people would buy her book, but no. This is just another perfect example of how the politicians and people that are related to politicians are able to launder money through these types of book sales. However, this book sales were so bad, she only sold a couple hundred copies, and most of those were to herself to hand out as gifts. So before we dive into today's story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button if this is your first time here. Thank you for joining me, allowing me to share some information with you, and hopefully you can pass it on with your family and friends. Let's see if we can't get this video up over 1,500 likes. And one last announcement real quick before we dive into the story. There is a new button down there called a super button, which is basically a tip button. So if you like these videos and you want to see more of these videos, you can say so by leaving a tip in there. That would be fantastic. Helps continue to keep the lights on in this studio and helps continue to produce content like this. So anyway, let me go ahead and dive into today's story, coming to us via WayneDupree.com. So here we go. We got Jill Biden's biography book sales are so bad she actually makes CNN Plus looks popular. Let's take a look at the story over here. Oh, Jill. Would you pay $26 to read a book by Jill Biden of all people? I wouldn't read it if it was free. I guess if it was called Elder Abuse, How I Abused My Buffoonish Husband, I might read it. Other than that, no, thank you. And I guess I'm not the only one who feels that way about Dr. Dud Biden, because the new biography that's out on Jill has flopped spectacularly. In its debut week, it sold a whopping 250 copies. Washington Free Beacon reported that the American people are decidedly declined to pay for $26 for a book about the life of the president, Joe Biden's primary caretaker. Political reports that the first published biography, Dr. Jill Biden, ED, sold for just 250 copies in its first week of circulation. The Political article, which documents the professional anxiety of the White House correspondents who find it boring and difficult to cover an administration whose policies they wholeheartedly support, cites that the poor sales of Jill, a biography for the First Lady by AP reporters Julie Pace and Darlene Superville, is an example of why journalists are so bummed out now that Democrats are in charge. Writing a book about the former President Donald Trump was far more lucrative endeavor, and covering his administration was profoundly exhilarating experience for the journalists who, in their humble view, were saving democracy. As Alexander Nazayan, the author of The Best of the People, Trump's Cabinet, The Siege on Washington, explained in 2021, covering the administration was thrilling for many journalists in a way that I imagine storming the Omaha beach must have been for 20-year-olds fresh from the plains of Kansas. He hadn't signed up for battle, but there he was, liberating France. They'll never admit it publicly, but America's journalists are simply desperate for Donald Trump to run again in 2024. Biden promised to be a boring president. In comparison to Trump, he certainly has been. That's a new, really low bar to clear. One might think a president that reporters find so boring and difficult to cover would be overwhelmingly popular. He is not. At least not among normal Americans. Reporters are simply just less inclined to speak truth to power when a Democrat is in power. You think those 81 million votes her husband supposedly earned, she could scare up more than 250 copies in sales, right? I mean, if you're the wife of the most popular politician in our nation's history, wouldn't people be clamoring to get a copy of your book? Yeah, I didn't think so. That's probably one great indicator of how we know that how unpopular this president is, right? We know how unpopular he is. We know the American people as a whole reject this regime, reject the people within this regime, people like Jill Biden, who continues to parade her dementia-ridden husband in front of the cameras as he continues to deteriorate before our eyes. And they use him as a meat puppet to push the socialist, communist type of doctrines that they want for this country through the meat puppet. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have you checked out Jill Biden's new book? And if you have, would you pay $26 for it? I don't think I would. Anyway, leave your comments down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button. Check me out over on Gab and Odysee, both linked in the description down below, along with this article. And don't forget to leave a big let's go, Brandon. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.